Welcome back to the Clubhouse, and for those of you just joining us, welcome to the Tribe. We are a group of FSU alumni obsessed with the culture, the gear, and the game of golf. From breaking down tour news to roasting our own weekend blow-ups, no topic is out of bounds. Grab a drink and settle in. This is the Tea Time Tribe. Welcome back to the Tea Time Tribe. I'm Eric, joined with Ian and John. Quick recap of what we'll be talking about in this episode. Cadillac Championship. Again, another signature event. First time back at Trump Doral, I believe it was in 10 years. Cam Young on a tear. Just like the last couple episodes, more LIV drama. So I think we'll get a little bit more in depth about what potentially we could see coming down the pipeline there. A quick little preview, I guess you could say, of PGA Championship happening next week. But this week, we'll end it talking about Truist Championship, yet again, another signature event. There is a second tier, I guess you can call, tournament happening, the One Flight Myrtle Beach, which the only reason I'm really mentioning that is because Brooks Koepka's playing it, which I think is big news. So hopefully he can get some more FedEx Cup points, more world ranking points, and kind of work his way that way. But yeah, Cadillac Championship, Cam Young just basically blew the field away. Well, what are your guys' thoughts on how it all transpired?
I thought the event was desolate, I think is the best way to put it. From the videos and images that I saw from the event, I even posted it on the socials that, I mean, there was nobody there. Literally nobody there. The sponsor tents weren't full. They were like ghastly empty. Thought the course was just okay. Saw a lot of dead spots on the coverage, so would have assumed Doral would have been in better condition. But yeah, other than that, love seeing Cam Young win another one, especially with having a penalty stroke that he called on himself on Sunday, which obviously he made the right move there, because I think it's a bigger penalty to sign the wrong scorecard right after being assessed a penalty, but. Yeah, it's an okay tournament. I think it's another reason why we need to cut down on the amount of tournaments during the season. But yeah, John.
Yeah, you did hit the point about it being desolate. I just felt like I saw like 30 people there all weekend. It gave off like LIV golf attendance vibes. Like it was just kind of like, there happens to be a golf tournament going on at this course this weekend, and there's a few people there. I'll give them like 1% benefit of the doubt in that F1 was going on not too far away in Miami that same weekend, so that's a huge draw for a lot of people to go to. Don't know how much of an impact that's going to make on people going to a golf tournament. Don't know how much overlaps there. You could also, throw in that, our current president is linked to this course, and there's a lot of sponsors who may not want to have anything to do with him. So that could be a factor as well. And you mentioned, shrinking signature events. The PGA Tour says, hey, we want to have two, events in big markets, and Miami's a huge market, right? So I don't know if that's going away anytime soon, for better or for worse, as long as Cadillac's, willing to fork over 20 or 25 million, however much the purse is, that's going to be around. And I don't know if there's a different course down in that Miami area that could accommodate a big tournament like that. Yes, that's probably another discussion. I know, Eric, you're probably a little bit more familiar down there. I know they had the Cognizant at PGA National, but other than that, may not be a ton of other options. But yeah, Cam Young dusted the field. It was the crowd being desolate. It just said lack juice. That's like kind of the word I would say, the phrase. He really wasn't close after Friday, right? Like he ran away from it. He's always been a long driver. He's kicked it up in the last like 6 weeks. I just feel like he's added like 10, 15 yards off the tee just out of nowhere. And then it's just, wedges for him in, and he's been dialed and putting well. So no surprise. He's been on the brink of just, breaking it open and, winning at a high rate. He's been so close. And, this is his year where he's starting to become a household name, I feel like. And I don't see him slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, you guys hit most of it right on, right on cue. I think from the standpoint of the crowd that was there, normally I would say, Trump's president, they probably have strict protocols, but I think he was only there on Sunday, right? He might have been on Saturday, but I don't know why. I think maybe, John, you might be onto something of maybe some of the sponsors didn't want people there or the F1 going on, which, side note, F1, Justin Rose, McLaren, you would have thought something would have happened there. But wasn't a great start for him, finishing almost in last with the new irons. But
Not
yeah,
a great
I mean,
look. Not a great look.
No. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a combination of a lot of things. My biggest thing from it was, it's just these signature events after signature event after signature event. It just becomes like they're kind of making themselves irrelevant by having so many of them that, I think that's why they're looking to change up the schedule. And it's something we'll get into when we talk about LIV in a little bit. But I think the intent on what they wanted to do with the signature events was there. But I think how they actually went about doing it failed with having so many of them. But yeah, I mean, like you said, Cam Young dusted the field. Scotty didn't really have his chance to try and come back to win. Although, of course, he finished second. So just toss up another top 5 there for him. But it was nice to see some of the other names. Alex Fitzpatrick got a top 10. I think they said his check for finishing top 10 in this was more than his win at the Indian Open on DP World Tour. So he's definitely cruising. So yeah, I mean, all in all, I mean, you got a lot of the names up there, but it just was kind of a lackluster event, like you guys said.
Yeah. I don't really have much else to add. Yeah.
Like, it's tough. We talk a lot. Like, we love talking. We love hearing ourselves talk, like all of us do. And I don't really have anything else to say about it.
I feel like the pins they had were pretty easy, all things considered. I don't think there wasn't a huge barrier to entry to get close to the pin on a lot of those holes. And it was windy. I mean, good God, I think on Saturday or Sunday, you saw the palm trees just going like this. It didn't really impact that many people as you think that kind of wind would down there. But yeah, I don't know. Just, yeah, again, limited field, not many people there. Who cared? So it just seemed like it was just a weekend of practice rounds, or like a pro-am. That happened to be a guy who took home however much money he took home on Sunday.
Yeah, I think he took I think it was like 3.5 or something. But before we move on, which I think will be a lot more energetic debate and topic about LIV, I do have to mention another week, try bet, not even fucking close. I mean, Tommy had a good finish on Sunday to come within striking distance of top 20. He's one shot off there, but my God, Victor Hovland, I don't know what happened to him. Who was it? Harris English? John, you were kind of, I won English.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, data is a bitch sometimes. I don't know what to tell you. Like, she's right and then she's wrong. Ian, back me up here.
She is a blessing and a curse all at the same time. She'll bend you over the coals. She'll bend you over the coals just as quick as she'll give you a reach around. I'll tell you that.
All right, well, onward.
Yeah. Enough Cadillac Championship. Enough of that. So in between when we recorded last episode until tonight, more news about LIV has come out. They got new board members. Saudi PIF basically said we're going to, it's basically to the end of the 2026 and then we're done. So they're trying somehow to completely restructure and change everything. I think they're just trying to save face at this point for PR purposes. I don't see anything happening past 2026. I don't know if anyone actually does. So let's kind of start there with that new information. What do we think? If there's any chance for LIV to continue in any fashion?
I don't. The irony is, if LIV could have gotten a deal done with F1, I think that would have potentially been the best possible outcome for them. Because think about where F1 goes throughout the year, right? It's all of these international locations that LIV is touting that they're becoming a more global. They want to become the global brand, and their model blends right into the F1 model, right? They literally said that they're trying to take an F1 style for their tournament style. But they didn't. So I don't see personally. I don't really see a future. These the teams within LIV have not been able to secure the brand contracts that I believe that they've wanted to, but that which means that they're still relying on the PIF money, and if the PIF money is running dry, as dry as the desert, I don't see much of a future.
Well played. Well played.
That one's for you, John.
Eric, I'm surprised, Eric, that you haven't sent the meme of those dudes carrying the coffin while they're dancing. They're like processing through years. You seen that GIF? Because that's LIV Golf.
That's coming when we hear the actual news that they're done.
I mean, it's one of those things. Yeah, it may never like officially. It'll like quietly just like cease operations. But Ian said it. This isn't coming back. All right, like they've had plenty of time to make something happen, get a legitimate. I know they tried it with Fox, didn't really work. They've had years to figure this out to make it semi-profitable. When the new board of governors, I'm sure, are still reviewing the P&Ls of the league for the last 4 or 5 years, and their eyes are probably bleeding right now because they can't believe that this is staying. I mean, we all know how it's staying afloat, but like any other legitimate business would have ceased operations years ago. Like there's just
shout out Spirit Airlines.
Yeah. Exhibit fucking A.
Pour one out.
Spirit Airlines.
But I don't, this is a failed experiment. It was tried. They just thought that limitless money would somehow make this profitable, make this successful. The F1 model, partnering with them, as Ian said, would have been a home run for them. But now that this is, now reports are coming out that Rahm's representatives and Bryson's representatives have been calling PGA Tour HQ to see how this is coming back. I have an idea. You can tell me if I'm crazy. Any of these guys...
John's got an idea. Here we go.
Honestly, I'd open up to any of them. Well, specifically Rahm and Bryson, because they were on that original list that it said no. Effective immediately. Let them come back on the tour, but they play for no money. They can get world ranking points. They can get FedEx Cup points. And if they qualify for the FedEx at the end of the year, then they can make money there. But that's part of your punishment. You can come back on. You're going to make a cent this year or X amount of tournaments. You're barred from winning any money because clearly the money's the thing, right? Like they've made plenty. Their signing bonus, their contract, all that. They don't need it. So if they really care about coming back to the tour, play for nothing. They cared about the world ranking points, right? That they've cared about for a long, long time. That LIV finally got, but only if you came to the top 10. And the FedEx at the end of the year. You can kind of get a jump start on next year and the future years that you're on the tour, but you're not making any money. I think that players would be okay with that as a starting point potentially. And maybe some other fines for coming back to like they did to Brooks, but who says no?
Yes. And John, I don't know if we tell them that they're not going to make any money. I think we tell them that you have to, because the PGA is, quote, a nonprofit, right? You have to designate a charity of your choice for any and all winnings throughout the year to whatever the charities you want to. So you're giving back, but you're also not giving them any money because of what they've already made as penance for the choice that they made.
Bryson just redid his YouTube channel as a charity, so he's going to donate all his money back to that. Loophole.
He's designated as a church. Yeah.
Yeah. Why is it your home address? This charity?
So I was reading an article on golf.com, and they basically summed it up as there's 3 different like segments almost of LIV golfers right now. That you have your guys that are top tier, like the Brysons, the Cam Smiths, the John Rahms, the Tyrrell Hattons. You have the guys in the middle that played on tour for a little bit. Like maybe you can put like Thomas Peters in there. You can put like Sergio in there. Just middle that like
Oosterhuizen. Charles Schwartz on.
And then you have the last half of these like rookie guys or guys that just basically went there because they dangled money in their face that didn't really get a chance on tour. And they basically said the guys that are out of those 3, you have to have different pathways for each of them, which I think we all are kind of in agreement in the golf world. Like that's basically how it's going to come down to. So I basically said the bottom tier they just have to go through Korn Ferry or DP World Tour because they'd most likely be doing that anyway, which I agree with.
Mm-hmm.
The middle guys, especially some of the older generation like the Sergios and stuff, they're probably just going to retire, just say, I'm done. Maybe they'll go try to play Champions Tour or whatever, but they're probably just done because they've made enough money. They've played enough golf in their life. So like we're really talking about those like 10 to 15 guys in the top, like what happens. What I didn't know is, and maybe it's just me not really being up to speed on all of it, but when the lawsuit that came to the tour when LIV first launched in 2022, Bryson was a plaintiff on that. And the tour players basically had to front the money to defend all of it. So they're saying like, regardless of how he comes back, that there's going to be some like issue there because like you went and got this fuck ton of money, but you also tried to fuck the tour as well and you lost and they're trying to claw back. So it was interesting to kind of think about that side of it, but it just like brings up this point of they've already had their chance to come back in the way that, you know, Brooks came back. So this time has to be harsher. And while I think what you said about like, yeah, just let him play for no money, just try to get the ranking points and FedEx Cup points or whatever, I think it needs to be a big, like, you want to come back quick, you got to pony up big time. So I don't, maybe Bryson has to sign his YouTube channel over the tour now. I don't know.
He's definitely not. He would never do that.
That's the Braveheart.
That's a negative.
A literal Braveheart scene where William Wallace like, not going to take my freedom. Plant his 9-iron in the ground. That's his baby.
I think Jordan Jordan Spieth actually had a great little snippet on it as well, similar to what you're saying, where we can't just quote let them come back now because they had a chance. They had the window of opportunity and they chose to skip it.
Well, that's why you have to make it worse than what Brooks had to do.
Yeah, but what do you like? What are you gonna do? You make them pay another $10 million? Brooks had to pay $5 million, so you make them pay $10 million. Like, it's funny money for them. All of this is funny money. So, what actually makes them? What actually makes it hit a pain point to make them feel like, okay, this was truly a penalty?
That's the question.
Lock them in a bunker type setting. They have to film an apology video and cry some fake tears and tell everyone how dumb they were. Kind of like a hostage video.
Put all the guys that want to leave LIV and come back to the tour, put them in a big break setting. Whoever wins comes back to tour immediately. Everyone else has to wait a year.
Yeah. That'd be kind of fun. That'd be good reality TV.
Mm-hmm.
Make them
and pay them nothing.
Yeah. I do think that the guys on tour, I don't know if respect's the right word, but Brooks, when he went back, apparently he drove himself to PGA Tour, to the headquarters. He met with that guy, Brian Rowlett. No agents, no managers, man-to-man by himself, tail between his legs. What do I need to do? Hand up. I want to come back. I fucked up. What can we do to make this happen? So it seems like, with Bryson and Rahm, they're using their agents and their management, all these teams to kind of like, hey, what can you do for our boy? Like, what's up? What can we do for this? But Brooks just literally like got in a car, drove himself, didn't tell anyone he was coming except for this roll-up guy. So he just showed up almost unannounced and had this meeting and got it done. It seems like Bryson and Rahm are doing the exact opposite, going through multiple channels. And I know it's probably like the, more official legal way or whatever, but Brooks did his way and it obviously, worked out a lot better.
Yeah. I don't ever see DeChambeau or Rahm being someone who comes back with their tail tucked between their legs.
Absolutely not.
Like, these are two guys who, well, number one, we've seen Rahm's quote unquote passion for what he believes in, and he was very firm in saying he could give zero shits on what happens. He'll let the legal team figure it out, and he's got a Masters jacket, so he can make his own decisions. He can go back through the DP World Tour as well. If he really wanted to, he could go back through Korn Ferry or qualify, but yeah, I just don't see him. I don't see him making those amends.
I mean, it almost is like maybe they just have to say, look, if you want to come back, you have to either qualify through Korn Ferry or you have to find another path through. Like, obviously, Bryson and Rahm have majors locked up, being past major winners themselves. But if you really love the game and you like competing and LIV's no longer around, so you can't go hide back on that tour, like at this point, just make him go through qualifying again. I think that's probably the best way, because I think, to your point of, earning that respect of how Brooks came back, maybe that's what they need to do. Maybe they need to, like, if we really want to be on, earn it.
That'd be kind of electric, actually. They showed up this summer at some Korn Ferry events.
Could you imagine?
Rahm and Bryson.
Dude, that would be huge. They've been talking about that for a while, right? On how they want to build up the Korn Ferry events. Like, how awesome would that be if you got back to that?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Honestly.
As I talked about it, it's just it's almost like that has to happen, or I want it to happen. I'm trying to manifest it to happen.
Yeah, like you said, they really care and they want to get back on. Start with 0 points, and I mean, I know you can get on the tour pretty quick if you win a couple times, and they got a lot of tournaments, so do it.
So the last thing in this article that they asked some of these editors and writers was, what has, if anything, what has changed in the professional golf landscape? Like, what effect did LIV have on the tour, good or bad? Do you see any, like, does it change how it shaped the PGA Tour now or whatever? And I think, like, the first thing that pops out in my mind is they elevated these events to these signature events to more money. But at the end of the day, I don't think they did anything. Like, team golf's never going to be a thing.
Yeah, big picture was that no, nothing. Yeah, like nothing substantial, right? Obviously, purses got huger. These signature events, no cut, but obviously it was direct correlation to LIV, which again, then those signature events are up for being changed in the next couple of years. So either limited or maybe there's going to be a cut there on some of these events down the road. But yeah, like nothing substantial. This was, again, we've talked about it ad nauseum. This is a failed experiment.
What if, and this is a crazy idea, I know it is already, just hearing it in my head, but
no dumb questions.
What if there was a world where, what if there's a world where Rahm and DeChambeau didn't have to, quote, admit defeat, where they came back to the tour because the tour was, quote, willing to, the tour is looking into a new type of event that is a team event. That's not the Ryder Cup or the President's Cup. So you still have a team aspect, but it's just a single event, maybe every year, every other year, that they factor in. That
they have that. It's called the
similar
Zurich
to the
Classic.
Zurich. Yeah, it's similar to the Zurich, but it's where you have four players that are on a team this time. Like, you have an actual 4-ball.
Interesting, but I don't see how that would bring them back.
Well, no, it'd be like kind of like the style of play still lives on, and that would be like coming back. But it's because we saw that the PGA Tour is like progressing. They have progressive thoughts.
I mean, it was a crazy idea because I don't think it's going to happen.
As I said, I don't think it's going to happen. But
I take back everything I said.
I mean, they did
the TGL's
like,
a thing
mentioned, right? But they did also say, like, it's obviously shaped the tour with how they're structuring their schedule now and the purses. But they were saying, like, maybe LIV still does exist, but it's like almost like a mini tour, but it's like a world tour for golf, because they're like, the Australias, the Koreas, the parts in Asia that don't really get seen a lot. Like, it was cool to see the crowds. I will give them this in Australia. Like, Australia wants the golf.
How much more expensive, though, is it to be on that LIV Golf Tour, though? Think about how much farther you have to travel for every single event than you do any other
right, but
tour.
going back, that's what the F1 model is. That's what they do.
I understand, but they're backed by multi-billion-dollar conglomerates. That's a different.
Of course, yeah.
That's a different story, right? Because LIV isn't actually sponsoring these players anymore, other than when they originally got them to come over from the PGA Tour. McLaren ain't one of those companies. J Rose is not going to be going over to LIV Golf anytime soon, and McLaren's not going to be becoming a brand sponsor for any of those teams.
Right, but I think if you take the F1 model, I think there could be some kind of scenario there where a golf tour that almost identically mirrors F1 could exist if you're making these stops like once a month in all these different places around the world. But it's not a professional golf tour. It's not going to be anything remotely close to, I think, what they wanted. And they were saying in the article how LIV basically just threw billions of dollars into it, thinking they can quickly ramp up this tour and become relevant. And the funny thing is, they go, this shows that LIV was not ever an issue with PGA Tour, but now they have to worry about these YouTube golf bros coming in and trying to take of it, which I'm not so far off. But I don't think LIV is if it's going to stay around and be LIV Golf, it's not going to be the LIV Golf they were trying to make it. It's going to be something completely different that almost has nothing to do with world ranking points.
Yeah, it could be it could be a tax write-off for them or something. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like they could, get profit and losses, and this is just going to be on your L sheet for the rest of the time. But I don't know. Yeah, it was a chaotic time. It still is, but it was chaotic for the last 4 or 5 years.
Our generation's living through a lot of chaotic times. I will say that.
Yeah.
Golf was never on the bingo board up until a few years ago.
Nope.
Here we are.
Okay, before we get off to our next segment, I didn't have this in our opening of what we talk about, but I feel like I have to mention Nelly Korda is also going on a tear. I didn't even realize that she was winless last season, and now she's got a major, and they're like, this could be a 3 major year for her. Like it's just unstoppable, it seems.
Yeah, she's back, man.
She's what I love about Nelly is her attitude towards wanting to bring more junior golfers into the game, especially being a dad myself, like seeing how much that jazzes her up to have like just these junior golfers on the sidelines, just showing her some love and her being willing to sign autographs and just being a good ambassador of the sport. It's cool. It's cool to see. Really cool to see. I think one of my favorite lines that she had from the major win, from that first major win, was, I love that I could show all of the junior golfers that you can miss short putts and still win tournaments. It was like something like you could still miss 3-footers and still win a golf tournament as big as this. And I know for someone like yourself, Eric, that means a lot.
It does. It really hits home for me.
Man, catching a boomerang. Damn.
No, but it like, in all seriousness, it was I love her personality. I think she's great for the game, and I wish there was a better format than they're bringing them in for TGL, but I am going to be excited to at least watch a few of the episodes before it gets canceled on TGL.
Mr. Down
What?
here.
You guys are laughing at me. I don't see the season going past one season.
Yeah, no. It'll be tough.
Do any of you?
No, it'll be tough. It'll be tough. Pretty sure. No, we were just laughing at the randomness of the comment. You're not wrong. Like, I'm not arguing with you. Yeah.
No, because you were basically just like, I love Nelly. She's got a great attitude, but what she's about to do on TGL, it's not going to work anyway. And she's walking into a bloodbath.
Yeah. She said it, dude. She said it. She also said it. She's on record saying, "Why are we doing this? Why are we putting a women's TGL together?"
It's kind of like LIV Golf. It has good intentions, I think, at some point, but what they're doing, I think it's either gonna it's either going to stop, like the women's TGL is just going to stop altogether, or they're going to find a way to mingle it and to make it like maybe that's the team golf between men and women on this TGL format. I mean, I think it would be nice if you had like an 8-person roster per team for men, for women, and it kind of gives some of them off weeks as well, even though they're condensing
100%.
the schedule, but that could work.
Yeah, I love that. I love that idea. Like, also, you could have at some point, that it's not always going to be over in Jupiter. Like they're going to be changing locations.
They're going to start going after the F1 model.
Definitely not the F1 model, but I think they'll have one on the West Coast and they'll have a location on the East Coast or in Frisco.
Yeah, I was going to say Dallas.
One or the other. Yeah.
Frisco would be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got
not too far away from Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's where the headquarters is.
But that makes it a little bit easier for the folks that live on the West Coast too, to be able to come out and play in these events. And especially if you're during the West Coast swing, right? You're not going to have to travel as far to go to the TGL events.
Well,
right?
have they said, are they trying to make the different spots for TGL for that specific team that's from there? Like Jupiter has the Jupiter one, or are they just making like base locations? Because I think the base location makes the most sense because, like you said, when you have the West Coast swing, you're going to the LA location. When you have, the Florida swing, you're going to be in Jupiter.
I don't see them making a lot of these locations. These are highly, 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 highly specialized events, like buildings, because those greens are so meticulously kept, and they have to run all of these hydraulic systems that are so specialized, and that they have those grass farms, right? That they have specialized grass that they're growing underground to make sure it's ready to go and replaced, so that they can use fresh grass throughout the events. But yeah, I don't see them ever making more than like 3 locations. They haven't come out with any of this information, by the way, so this is all speculation. But like, if they are going to expand this, if they want to grow their fan model, right? You've got nobody on the West Coast that can even attend these events unless they have a fucking private jet, or they're making an entire vacation out of coming to see one of these events.
That's true.
Yeah, they mentioned that at least the one down South Florida, when the TGL is not going on that off season, they have it open for corporate events. So like people can go in there and rent it out for like a couple hours for their company, and like
I want to know how much that is.
Right. Yeah. Like it's like fancier Top Golf, right? Like
yeah.
And you can obviously seat a lot of people too.
Cool.
So you can put 1,000, 2,000 people in there if you had a really big company, and yeah. So if the PGA thought forward and be like, all right, these are 6 weeks out of the year, but then let's make some money the rest of the year, corporate events, whatever,
Dude, John,
make more money.
Made me just think about, can you imagine having your company host an event there and everybody had to hit a shot in front of all of their coworkers?
Do you know
how nerve-wracking that would be? Yeah. Think about the pressure cooker that would be.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Wow.
I just quick Google search. It's saying the starting price to rent it out for a corporate event, $50,000.
Yeah,
that seems like cheap for like if you're going to think about like a corporate event.
Big one.
Is it 2 hours or 4 hours?
It doesn't say. It doesn't say.
Just $50K to open it up.
Basically, I don't know. It's interesting.
I like it.
Well, when we hit it big, guys, we'll definitely be having an event out.
Well, we'll go rent it out the minute we hit a tribe bet.
Yep. Wow. That's sorry.
You're
Call the wife.
You're $89.
We're actually going in debt.
You're $89 will get you 1 minute in here. Because Mason
is all I need. That's fine.
Get 3 shots off.
All right. Before we get to Truist, it's a quick this or that kind of preview PGA Championship with US Open, but I think I already know the answer. So I'll extend it a little bit after, but who gets the career Grand Slam this year? Is it Spieth with the PGA, or is it Scotty with the U.S. Open?
Better chance. I mean, it's one answer. I think it's
Yeah, I
Scotty.
mean, it's
I
Scotty.
can't.
Yeah, it's gotta be
I'm on
Scotty.
record. I'm off the Spieth roller coaster. So it wouldn't surprise me if you won at this track, this Aronimik.
I was about to say, dude. Now that we're off of the speed trade, I guarantee you he's gonna win.
He's gonna start
I
racking it up.
guarantee you he goes. Yeah, he
It'd be
just
very
starts
on
racking
brand
up.
if he were to win that one just out of nowhere. Of course, no one's ever played before.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. He's healthy. He's got the right equipment now, supposedly. He's got a driver that he likes. He's been putting better. I haven't seen any woefully bad short misses on his part. Yeah, I don't know. No, I'm still off that. No, fuck it. No, I'm off. I'm still off the speed train. I'm not hopping back on the speed train.
Listen, he is still
I will love that man.
Every time I flip it
so
on,
want him to do well.
Every time I flip it on, he is in a spot off the fairway where I would be if I was playing that course, without a doubt. Like he's just like you're in the middle of the green, there's no one around you, but there's 100 people around him every time I flip on a tournament because he's in the woods or he's left, right, of center, and he's got to hit something, hit a window as wide as my phone here and get through it. He still does it. I mean, look, it's entertaining. Like, don't get me wrong, but I'm off the roller coaster.
Oh, man.
I guess my follow-up question, I'm looking this up to see who we have, but my follow-up question was going to be, after those two, who do you think's the next that has the potential to get the career Grand Slam?
For me, it's Xander. I think he's always in contention at Augusta. Loves that course. And then, a random, like, next year's at Pebble. And it's going to be another bloodbath in terms of, like, double-digit under par U.S. Open. Opens up the door for a lot of people to win it next year. So Xander, if he can, he's been playing pretty well this year. But, that's top of mind. That's the next one for me. Now, there's some others with two. But
Well, I was going to say, I can give you some of the other ones.
Two of them are on the tour right now. Tour without a home right now, for being honest.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Both of them have U.S. Open and Master, DJ and Rahm.
Mm-hmm. Bryson only has the U.S. That's right. There's 2 U.S. Opens, yeah.
Colin has the PGA and the Open.
It's true.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking about.
As much as he's been shitting the bed lately, he does play well at Augusta more often than not. So I could see that happening. The other one that you mentioned, John, was Xander. But like another one here that has one major is Matty Fitz. The other one that comes to mind is Cam Young. I mean, the way both of them have been playing, I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow get their 2 or 3 majors under their belt. I mean, if Cam Young gets a major this year, good God, I think people need to watch out.
Yeah, Morikawa and Young were the 2 that I had at the forefront. Shit, man, if Cam Young keeps playing the way he is, and there's something to be said about a guy who lets his caddy read all of his putts for him. Like, when you have the utmost trust in your caddy, and you've now taken that mental load off of yourself to be able to say, look, I've placed all trust in my caddy to make all these reads for me. I think that's a really big advantage. And I think that we're seeing that play out right now on tour, that the more that these two are in these crazy leads, they're not letting go. And that's what we're looking for, right? Somebody who can continue to step on the gas and really show that they're not going to just let it slip through their fingers. Matthew Fitzpatrick, looks like he's going to let it go every time, but he's held them off. But I think he's bound to let one slip through if he continues to streak.
I hope he's paying his caddy a little bit more for reading literally all of his putts. I'd be demanding a raise.
You got it, right?
I want a couple extra percentage points if I'm doing this extra work.
It's more work.
It's more pressure.
That's also true.
Like, hey, tricky 4-footer. He looks at it and goes, "What does it do?" Better figured it out. But it's also good.
Out, man.
But it's also good draft security too, because it's like, this is what he wants out of his caddy. It would take a long time for you to just pull someone off the street and grab that rapport or gain that, trust, whatever you want to call it. Oh, didn't know that. That's
Yep.
crazy.
Well, I think it's his college buddy is
Who, Cam's caddy?
Cam's caddy. Yeah.
Kyle Sturbinski, a former Wake Forest teammate and close friend.
Here you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Sturbinski, considered an elite green reader, directs nearly all of Young's putting lines, allowing Young to focus solely on speed and execution. I'm telling you, man.
Could be onto something there, Ian.
I think that's, and just to John, to what you said earlier, I don't know how the fuck he had like what was it? One of his longest drives was like 365 yards or something at the Players this year. Who the fuck does that on 18?
Yeah, on 18
on Sunday
with
a one-shot lead or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Took the most aggressive,
aggressive
line possible. Most people are clearing a 3-wood off into the trees there on 18. Like the Players just to keep it out of the water, and he's just like, I'm going.
That's like this.
It's the longest.
Just like this weekend, he had like a 4 or 5 shot lead, and he still went for that drivable par 4.
Well, when you can hit it with like a 3-iron, obviously.
Send it. Yeah.
Fucking send it.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see how he does in PGA next week. I think if he has a good finish there, then Scotty's got to watch out. Rory's got to watch out.
Mm-hmm.
He's not backing down.
Not at all.
All right. Final piece of today's episode. Truist Championship. Quail Hollow. Rory McIlroy is finally playing. Don't think anyone really cares too much, though. I was looking at the list of players, and I always, on these signature events, like to look at what sponsor exemptions were passed out. And the 4 that I see here, we got Tony Finau, Max Homa, Mackenzie Hughes, and number 430 in the official world golf rankings, Webb Simpson.
Got the members invite.
Mm-hmm.
Hopes to own a house on the course.
Yes, I don't see this happening, but there is a chance Brooks ditches Myrtle Beach because he's technically the 4th alternate for this week.
Possible. Myrtle and Charlotte are about 3 hours apart, so he could be there very, very quickly if he needed to be.
I mean, so, Rory, you can step down if you'd like. Justin Rose probably can too with his new clubs not doing shit.
Yeah.
He's going to send them back to McLaren and then be like, you can take these apart and use them as car parts.
He's been playing, those Homa clubs for a long time, right?
Yeah.
So he's always had some niche tastes in irons, at least.
Correct.
I don't quite get it. I don't know if this is McLaren's way of trying to get into the golf game or what, but I just want to know what was going through Jay Rose's head. And he was like, yeah, sure.
I guess he's a McLaren fan. F1.
Yeah, no comment.
All right. Try bet this week. We need to hit it so we can rent out the SoFi Center. Who's starting off?
Adam Scott.
Ooh, okay. Wow. Any reason why? Just picked it out of thin air? Or?
He finished well this past weekend. He had like a 64 or something yesterday. He had a really good round. So recency bias.
Fair. Okay.
I'm going to go with Akshay.
Where is he? Akshay, where are you?
He had a wild round yesterday.
Yes, he did.
He had a 40 on the front, I saw, and then he eagled 16. He almost hold it out. He had hit like 3 feet.
Can you believe he's already won? He's already won He has $19 million in official money already. In his
Jay
career.
Rose?
No, Akshay.
Sorry, Akshay?
Yeah.
He
joined in 2023.
That's what you get when you join at the right time.
Yep. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. My pick this week is going to be Jake Knapp.
Nappy boy. Do we know if he's feeling better yet?
He definitely is.
You said that very confidently.
I have no idea.
Pressure has no idea.
It's fine.
Very nice.
I'm gonna do a quick Jake Knapp.
It was either him or Webb Simpson.
Injury update. Jake Knapp withdrew from the 2026 Cadillac Championship.
Yeah, see, he just needed some rest.
Definitely wasn't his rest, but it wasn't something that you need to use in golf.
He's fine.
He's
He needs to play this.
Sprained left thumb.
Basically fine. Okay? You don't need your left thumb.
In a game, it's all about feel.
Eric, come on, pick somebody else.
Fine.
I normally let you ride with some crazy fucking bets.
Fine, but if he finishes top 20, you're going to hear it next week.
I will take the heat.
If he finishes top 20, I'm picking him right now, top 20 for next week for the PGA.
Done. Deal. Twist my arm.
All right. Well,
twist
sticking
my
with the
sprained
theme
thumb. All right.
Sticking with the theme of crazy picks, then. This is Ian's fault.
Oh boy.
Kind of.
Boy,
We'll see what you say.
Max
Here
Homa.
we go.
He's won at the course. It was a while ago, but he's won there, I think. It is crazy, but it's not the craziest. Send it.
He needs something, all right? He got the sponsored invite.
He's not hurt, so I guess that's the bar.
Yeah, that's a plus
for Eric's picks.
There you go. Hey, look, he finished top 10 in the Masters, so obviously he's playing well enough.
Fucking world, man.
Has he played since?
Yeah, he finished T69 at the RBC Heritage and T38 last week at Cadillac.
T69.
All right.
That's what you get. That gives us 16-1 odds.
All right. Hope
So
there's no injuries.
Adam Scott. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Is this the week?
Might as well be.
This is it.
This is it.
It would have been.
Might
Would
as
have been
well.
if Jake Knapp was in.
I'm never gonna hear the end of this if both of our bets hit.
Ian's hoping for like a withdrawal on Wednesday for him, so it's like, all right, I was right.
That's true. I did forget this part, so we'll finish up with this. I saw it on Instagram, and I wanted to get your guys' take.
Is it this or that?
It kind of is. There's 4 choices of where you're playing.
Okay.
Right. I'll give you the rundown. It's Augusta, St. Andrews, Bandon Dunes, or your local Muni course. But there's caveats to each one.
Mm.
So for Augusta, their caveat is Amen Corner is under construction. It's 52 degrees and raining. You only brought 1 golf ball, and the pimento cheese gives you food poisoning. That's Augusta's. I know, it's serious.
Damn.
And wait, you got 4 of these scenarios?
Yes, and you have to choose which one.
My fucking God, dude. Jesus.
St. Andrews it's windy and 60 degrees, so basically a typical day.
Perfect. Yeah.
But you have to hit off of mats.
Every shot or tee boxes?
It just says you have to hit off of mats. That's all it says.
Because keep in mind, AJ had proposed to me at one point going to play one of these fucking rounds in this weather you're talking about. Mm-hmm. And he said you have to literally carry around a piece of turf with you to hit every shot.
I've seen that.
The fuck I will.
The greens at St. Andrews are punched. And this one seems like on the same level with the pimento cheese, kind of. You accidentally break the famous bridge. If that happened to me, I would just completely stop golfing. Golf definitely doesn't want me in that. Bandon Dunes, it has very rocky sand traps, no grass in the tee boxes. Your partner steps in your line on every single green, and you lose a ball on every tee shot.
Well, okay. All right.
Let me give you the last one. Yep. The local Muni.
Okay.
It's a beautiful 78 and sunny. All of your boys are there. You have a full cooler of ice cold beers, and you shoot the round of your life.
Right in the fields.
It's tough.
Yeah. It's definitely not the first 2, because first 2 seem like just hazards left. Literally, like your life's on the line. Like you break the bridge.
I mean, I think that Augusta National's
die.
out for probably everyone if you can't play Amen Corner. Why are you going? Like, great course, love it, but if I can't play Amen Corner, what am I there for?
Also, food poisoning. Yeah. You get hospitalized off of that, so pass.
I was going to ask you what time did I get food poisoning, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but would you play Augusta if you knew the only caveat is you get food poisoning after the round?
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
If none of the other aspects were a thing, yeah, absolutely. I would wear a diaper on the plane. It's fine. It's all good. I'm rocking an adult diaper. It's all good.
I would just hope I didn't get it on the ground. It's like I was off the property before.
That's true.
You start heaving wherever you start heaving.
Although, how incredible would that be if you got to just say, like, I shit my pants at Augusta National? how many people get to say that,
That's true. Like we talked about in the episode before, how many people get to say they've played Augusta National? You can add on top of that, not only did I play,
I shit my pants.
shit my pants.
I shit my pants. I feel like that's like one of those two truths and a lie.
Yeah.
Or two lies and a truth type of thing. Like, I'm 6'8". I've traveled around the world 6 times, and I shit my pants at Augusta National.
All right, you're getting away from it. Which one are you guys choosing?
Right, yeah. John, I'll go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like if you've listened to the pod at all, you know my answer. I'm going local muni with the boys at the cooler of beer, shooting the round of my life. I'll never hear the end of it because I'd be called the biggest sandbag and piece of shit for the rest of my life. But I'm all right with that. It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, then when you go to the Muni too, that'd be fun. And I was thinking of East Potomac in DC, which shout out to the random judge that's blocked President Trump's order about taking over the course. Not so fast, my friend.
Yeah.
Still, like construction is supposed to start like today. The judge, the very last hour, just said. So it's not being renovated yet. So there's some good memories of that place. And 18 on the blue course with unlimited light beers sounds delightful.
I think just like you two, I have to go local muni. There's just too much shit happening in those other 3 courses. So teeing up with you boys, shooting the round of my life, not getting food poisoning.
Not breaking any
I'll
bridges.
probably be hungover though.
It's fine. Worth it. Worth it for a low score.
Very worth it. Yep. That'd be even better if you were hungover. Like, shoot the round of your life, being hungover.
Maybe I'm hungover because I got a hold one on the round of my life and I had to pay for the bar tab. You never know.
You just never know. You just never know. Speaking of which, guys, gentlemen, I shot 76 the other day on the home.
You told us
on the home course. Yeah, that was. I made a lot of people really pissed off because I was on the course from the blue tees, course adjusted blue tees. I'm a 13 handicap, so we won a little money by me shooting 76.
So when you go play an event and then you shoot 85, they're going to be like, what the fuck?
Well, it was very short-lived of me being a 10 handicap because within a month, actually, I think it was less than a month, I went from being a 12 handicap down to an 8 handicap. So that was fun.
Nice.
It's fun while it lasted. Let's see. What am I at now? I think it's like a 8.6. No, 8.3 now.
There
Is that the lowest you've been?
Since 10/5/2025.
Damn. Mm-hmm. Look at you go.
My lowest I believe is 7. In 2021 when I shot at 72 at Bandit. That was playing some good golf. But we'll see, man. This is going to be great. Coincidentally, there was a I don't know if it's correlation or causation, but I got down to my lowest handicap over the past couple of years, right before I had my first kid, and we're approaching the next one. So, you can get the handicap really low and then proceed to have a kid and then blow that bitch back up.
There you go. Manifesting it.
Life is a highway. So is your golf game.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Yeah, I got all the way up to a 12.3 on 4-4. 4-4 2026. I was a 12.3. And I'm now at an 8.3. So I've dropped 4 shots on my handicap in a month.
You should be studied.
Sandbagger.
That's all I've heard across the entire course. Everybody's like, man, must be nice being that 13 handicap. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, it wasn't fucking nice when I couldn't keep the ball in play off the tee. I will say, the driver, I never thought I'd see the day when I'd be playing a 55 gram shaft, but I'm playing that 55 gram Reacts X Flex that we got fitted into at Outer Banks. And you know what? That QI4D, baby. The QI4D technology has been a absolute blessing. I'm hitting that ball like there is no other. So would recommend.
Good for you, man.
How are you hitting it, Eric?
I don't think I've
since.
played since Outer Banks. Do you know what the weather's doing up here? It's like 80 one day and then 50 the next.
Take advantage of the 80. What are you doing?
Working during the week.
Jeez.
Working so I can afford to not have my kids throwing out of childcare. Like, you're going to feel that next year. I can't wait for this conversation a year from now.
Touche.
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 John was right.
John was always right.
John's always right.
Clip that.
All right, well, no, I'll make sure to clip that. Don't you worry. All right, well, another round in the books. Again, thanks for hanging out with the tribe. Remember, if you enjoyed the show, to subscribe and share it. And until next time, keep it in the short grass, keep the drinks cold. And as always, go Noles.
Go Noles.
Noles.